Okay.
Retro Studios began in 1998, founded by Jeff Spangenberg, who already had some experience under his belt in the video games industry, notably with Turok for the N64. Nintendo wanted this man as a competitive advantage for the GameCube, and so Retro grew from a humble 25 to 200 employees working on 4 demos. Miyamoto visited the chaotic Retro Studios in 2000 from the little more prestigious Nintendo corporate and was less than impressed. The outcome of Miyamoto's visit, however, was a new focus. Their prototype, Metaforce, was to be retooled and released as the highly regarded Metroid Prime in 2002. All their other projects had been sunset, and the sequels Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, and Metroid Trilogy were soon to follow, all releasing within the decade. Retro Studios had proved their reliability in their success, such that Nintendo allowed them to help with Mario Kart 7, released in 2011, and revive the legendary Donkey Kong IP under their development in 2010. Their last developed game was Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, which was released in 2014 for the Wii U and ported to the Switch in 2018, which has been quite some time. In the meanwhile, Nintendo assigned Bandai Namco of Japan and Singapore to develop Metroid Prime 4, which was initially announced in 2017. The Bandai Namco Singapore team included some former LucasArts staff who had worked on the cancelled Star Wars 1313, which may have been a bad omen in retrospect, as Nintendo gutted the whole thing in 2019 and reassigned the project back to Retro Studios, the former home of Metroid. So what else was Retro doing between that release in 2014 and 2019? Well, their production cycle had been greatly interrupted with this change of events, and likely another project had gotten scrapped. It's all up to speculation, but a personal theory of mine is that since a number of leaks point that they may have been assigned a Legend of Zelda spin-off way back in 2006, Nintendo may have still liked this sort of third-party Zelda spin-off game from a business standpoint and initially assigned them to work on the precursor to Hyrule Warriors. There is some loose similarity between what is Hyrule Warriors and that old concept art coming out of Retro Studios, and that could also explain why they only ported Tropical Freeze in nearly a half a decade's effort. Even at a higher level, there are extreme work culture differences between Japanese companies and those of American companies, especially in tech. Creating software is hard and time-consuming, and Nintendo's quality standards don't help. Let's be honest, Nintendo as a company isn't known for being the most understanding when it comes to its business practices. Having 2 tiers of leadership appears to also create productivity issues, and that there may be language barriers, conflicting information coming from Nintendo and Retro, and demotivation among workers when work is inevitably cancelled. So that all brings us to today. There's some speculation that Tears of the Kingdom coming out this spring will be the last major game coming out for the Switch, which does not sound good for the outcome of Metroid 4. With the limited information we have on the outside, it's hard to say what will become of Metroid and Donkey Kong as a franchise. They obviously still have financial interest in keeping these IP around, but we're soon approaching the 5-year average lifespan for a Nintendo console. Perhaps Retro may be silently working on 1 or 2 launch titles for the next-gen console, but only time will tell. Let me know what you think in the comments, and thanks for watching.